Good evening, members. A new year, a new dawn. It's wonderful to have you all again on an interesting CPE event in the year 2022. Firstly, a happy new year to all of you on behalf of the XCOM. As we begin 2022, we have a session with a difference. Life is full of opportunities. It is up to us how we take these opportunities and experience success in the journey of life. CAs are beyond numbers, and we have many examples to this within our chapter, as well as a few eminent speakers today who will be speaking about this. Who better to speak to us about this than two chartered accountants who have excelled and have been versatile in various fields, apart from just being chartered accountants. They've been very successful and have achieved great success in the fields that they have been in. It is with pleasure now that I invite our ever-smiling chairperson, Sri Nirlip Bhatt, to take over this session. But before that, I'll definitely want to mention that this was another case where we, under the leadership of Nirlip, used this year to reap, made use of the opportunities that we got. There were challenges that we had through the year, but we used innovation to come up with different innovative ideas for you as members. And I'm sure these were opportunities that hopefully has translated into success. So this was definitely something that was a learning experience for each one of us within the XCOM. Thank you, Nirlip, and it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Vignesh, for this very warm introduction and your welcome remarks, I would say. As you rightly said, brother, it's all a teamwork. It's all about innovation and engaging, empowering more and more members, more and more stakeholders. Yeah, and together we have excelled. And when I say together, it means not only team DCICI, but each and every member of the DCICI. Friends, today's keynote speaker, CA Jay Chhera sir, esteemed speaker, CA Amit Arora ji, and CA Pragma Mohan, esteemed members, all of you, overseas chapter leaders, and all those who are watching us live on YouTube. A warm good evening and wishing everyone, first of all, safe time. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all in the event on the eve of Republic Day, which is also the first CPE event organized by the DCICI in this year. And what a galaxy of the speakers we have today to enlighten and inspire us on the topic CAs Beyond Numbers. I'm very pleased to inform you that Team DCICI has organized 20 CPE events and 10 non-CPE events in the year 2021. Yes, friends, give yourself a big round of applause. It's all because of you. It's all for the members that we could organize. We were instrumental in organizing 30 events in the year 2021. And this, as I said, could not have been possible without the support of the leaders of the ICI, superlative teamwork, I would say, by the XCOM, and of course, involvement, guidance, and support of you all. Friends, today's theme is very unique. It's great to note that we have the leaders from Bahrain, from Muscat. I already mentioned about CA Shilpaji. Thank you very much. Head of Women Empowerment Committee at Muscat chapter. Then we have, or we will be having probably leaders from New England in USA, San Francisco chapters. All those have expressed interest to attend the events. Over the years, friends, not only the gamut of services rendered by the CAs has changed, but also fields have changed. CAs with innovation, with, I would say, daring, determination, and dedication, have excelled in many fields. And today, we have truly gems of the profession from our fraternity, who represent very, very diverse field: journalism, media, communication, who have been, I would say, the champions in acting, singing, sports, public speaking, etc. Having multidimensional personality and passion always pay, I would say. We'll know their success story, future vision, how being CA has helped them achieve the remarkable and extraordinary success. They've brought laurels not only to themselves, but also to the whole fraternity. And that's what makes us truly proud about it. And of course, very important is that why is it important to follow the passion? All the three esteemed speakers are amongst the most sought after speakers of our fraternity and have done us proud. With this deep sense of gratitude, let's look forward to be inspired and enlightened in this power-packed evening. To start with, I'll introduce our very special guest and a keynote speaker, CA Jay Chhera sir, someone who never ceased to inspire all of us, Chairman, Board of Study Academics, Central Council member since 9 consecutive years. Well, this shows his popularity. CA Jay Chhera sir is a senior member with admirable credentials, charismatic personality, and immense knowledge. And he has to his credit several academic qualifications. Friends, not one, not two, not even 5. Yes, it's more than 20. Jay sir, to his credit, has 27 academic qualifications. I don't want to eat his time. That's why I avoid mentioning about his qualification with the permission of Jay sir. He has studied advanced management at various reputed institutions in Italy, Germany, US, UK, and China. Jay sir has been associated with ICICI since 1995. He has served as the chairman of Surat branch in 2005 and went on to become the vice chairman of Western India Regional Council, the largest regional council in 2012. Currently, as I said, he is serving his 3rd consecutive term at the Central Council, and he has had many, many important committees and contributed to the growth of the profession in an impeccable manner, I would say. He has held many significant positions, such as president of Rotary Club, member of Civil Defense at Government of Gujarat. And due to his exceptional contribution, look at his awards. Awarded by Legend of Surat, by Governor of Gujarat, award by Health Minister of Gujarat, a Star of Surat, by the Parliament as Jewel in the Crown, by the Mayor as Surat Ka Sitara, Youth Icon by the leading newspaper. He has also been awarded by the President of India for getting first in India in the research, and also by Chief Minister of Gujarat. His approach is towards holistic development of an individual, and his activities are evident of it. While he too, and that's where I say that CAs Beyond Numbers, while he is too passionate about finance, reporting, and management accounting, he is equally passionate about piano, drums, photography, and trekking. A state-level winner in painting, singing, elocution, and drama, he has acted in many Gujarati dramas and film. And to add one more feather in his crown, he has also participated in the Akshay Kumar International Martial Art Competition. Wow. An eloquent speaker, as we all know, he has represented India at various prestigious fora for higher education at Los Angeles, Milan, China, Phuket, London, and Paris. Currently, as I said, is the chairman of Board of Studies Academic and vice chairman of Capital Market and a member of 28 other committees of the ICI. His informal, I would say, slogan says, innovate or evaporate. Help me welcome with great round of applause, one of the most sought after speakers of our fraternity and a leader, hugely popular, I would say, CA Jay Chhera.
A very good evening to all of you. Thanks a lot, first of all, Nirlap, for this wonderful introduction. CA Nirlap Bhatt, CA Vignesh, CA Kishore Alex, CA Devkinandan Kibrewal, CA Ankit Agarwal, CA Amit Arora ji, the speaker today, CA Pragma Mohan ji, various other chartered accountants from Bahrain, Muscat, San Francisco, Shilpa ji, and all the members from Doha and abroad. Once again, a very good evening. And first of all, let me thank Nirlep and the entire team of Doha chapter for providing me this wonderful opportunity. During the last 2 years, I'm sure Amit Arora ji and Pragma Mohan ji must have the same experience with this virtual. The number of programs have boomeranged. And I think daily we are addressing some 2-3 programs. But what is happening in the last 1 year, I think I have spoken much more on taxation and on law and on finance and something like that. But the topic that has been chosen today is so very interesting. When Nirlep just called me, and this can be talked, I said, wonderful, wonderful. Irrespective of the day and irrespective of the time, surely I am coming, because this is something really a very beautiful topic. Well, compliments to the team Doha. Throughout the year, I had a very good interaction with the various committee members of the chapter, and I have seen the activity report of Doha chapter, and I have seen wide variety of programs, as it has been already said, 20 CP plus 10 non-CP programs. That's a very good number, and I'm sure rather than only numbers, I have seen the quality, because I have myself been a part of 4 to 5 programs this year in Doha chapter as a speaker or as a participant. So compliments. Well, the topic today is really beautiful. I am sure Pragya and Amit ji are going to speak on that. But CAs Beyond the Number. Yes. See what is happening. Let me put it in a different way. I'll start it this way. A story of a beggar. Now you may think that we are talking about Beyond Number and we are talking about beggar, but I'll just put it this. There was a beggar, and he used to sit on a stone, a big stone, bara patthar, and he used to beg there. While he was 10 years old, he used to beg in the stone. 20 years, same place. 40 years, same place. And 50 years, same stone. He used to beg there only. Now, he was too ill and he could make out that he cannot survive. So he told people that, see, I have begged on this stone throughout my life. I feel that you don't burn me, you bury me below this stone only. Bole meri atma ko shanti milegi. People said, okay, it's fine. Let us do that. So after he died, the big stone was removed. And when it was removed, pots and pots full of jewelry, gold coins were discovered beyond that, were there, hidden below the stone. So what is happening? This beggar who is begging across, is asking everywhere outside. He does not know that the true wealth is below him, below his pit. And I think that is the story with virtually all of us. Virtually all of us. We do not realize our own potential. Many times it so happens, and fortunately, I keep on meeting chartered accountants daily in different cities. And what I've observed is, we chartered accountants probably have not understood this fact that we have tremendous potential in 360-degree areas. While we might be good in the technical areas of maybe audit and maybe income tax and whatever the case may be, but we might be wonderful entrepreneurs first of all. We can be great leaders. Actually, we are. Many of us are wonderful leaders, wonderful entrepreneurs, and at the same time, artists, sports person, and so on. So this is a wonderful program, and believe me, more than the CPE programs, such type of programs should be always organized. Interaction should be there, because the most important ingredient, I'm sure Amit ji is nodding head, that is, for success, one of the very important ingredients is vision. Vision. What I've seen is, I'm sure all those chartered accountants who are in different chapters, now you have seen different world, you have seen different cultures, you have been at least in 2 countries. Friends, while this year, when syllabus for the new curriculum of chartered accountancy was being planned out, I was handling one particular group, and I thought that I should interact with at least a few people from chapters, because you have a better vision. If I'm sitting in a particular city, maybe I'm restricting myself, my vision, only at a few domain expertise areas for that local location. But when you are in different countries, you have seen different culture, you have seen different type of mindset, different type of work environment. I think that helps in broadening the horizon. And I think all these chapter members can be wonderful leaders. Of course, they are Many of them are already there, and many of them will emerge in the times to come and can be wonderful entrepreneurs. You can be global entrepreneurs. Now, what is happening, Amitji? If from the articleship period, I look at chartered accountants into income tax, then generally, I also tend to do the same thing. If I look at them into audit, I tend to do the same thing. It is generally what happens. Generally, what happens around you, you will generally follow. And it is said that man is the sum total, or rather the average of the 5 people he stays with. Now, when I am staying with all the people into audit, I may believe that I am only good for audit. While I am good for audit or good at audit, I am much more good at many other aspects. I think that is the theme. The theme is not about not paying attention to the domain expertise. Domain expertise is utmost essential. Pragya will agree it is the domain because of which she is known today, right? Whether it is Virat Kohli or it is Big B, Mr. Bachchan, or maybe A.R. Rahman or whatever the case may be. They are all known because of the domains. So domains is very important, right? I am too passionate. I cannot tell you the extent, but I am too passionate about numbers, even though the topic is beyond the numbers. I am too passionate about management accounting, about finance, about reporting. I am not very much into tax or audit. I diversified because in the city of Surat, where I became chartered accountant, I thought that if I go into the same income tax or audit, virtually all the chartered accountants are into that, I will have a long gestation period. So I shifted to number crunching, analysis and all. But the passion that I have for accounts or all these things, why not? I have a passion for piano also the same way. Drums also. Why not singing? Why not dancing? Why not trekking? That is the point. Now what is happening? Generally, we become whatever is our environment, right? Environment की बात करें तो आप जैसे environment में हैं ना बिल्कुल वैसे बनते हैं. A beautiful song अमित जी can make it out. जगजीत सिंह का एक beautiful सा song है तो शुरुआत हो रहा है खुमारे गम है महकती फिजा में जीते. बहुत ही beautiful words है. गम है और गम का खुमार है. खुमारे गम है महकती फिजा में जीते. फिजा को महकती कहा है. महकती फिजा में जीते हैं तेरे ख्यालों के आबो हवा में जीते. मेरी तो आबो हवा ही तेरे ख्याल है. सो अगर मेरा आबो हवा द एनवायरमेंट दैट आई हैव, वो एनवायरमेंट में अगर हेल्थ है, उस एनवायरमेंट में इफ वी हैव हेल्थ, वी हैव enthusiasm, we have arts, we have culture, we have sports, we have literature, along with the core part that is the technical competence. But along with that we have all these things. तो वो Raymond a complete man, इंडिया में तो ऐड अभी भी आती है Raymond a complete man. I am not sure with Raymond you will become a complete man or not, but with all these aspects you can be as nearer to the perfect man because that nothing is perfect. So it's a beautiful topic. It's a beautiful topic. When I talk about this beyond numbers, what I'm trying to first say is why to restrict ourselves? Of course, you are in different countries and that's why you have different exposures. But when I look at chartered accountants locally, I think most of them still they talk about GST, still they talk about audit, and that's fine. That's fine. That is the core field. But my point is, if in my city there are 5,000 chartered accountants, I don't want all the 5,000 chartered accountants only to look into audit or income tax. There can be diversification. There can be diversification. So when we say beyond the number, the first thing that comes up is diversification and the vision. Too low they build, too low they build, who build below the sky. And please understand all the chapter members, you have wonderful exposures. You have exposures in cities of India, you have exposures abroad, you have exposures in unorganized sectors, you have exposures for corporate and MNCs. If you develop that vision, then you are going to create your own organizations, huge organizations. That is the possibility. Now, one of the problems, Amit ji, Pragya ji will agree with me, you must have heard about it. Kishore ji, Vignesh ji, you must have heard about it. Time hi nahi milta. We don't have time. Hi. Now, the interesting thing is, when you say time nahi milta hai, Shilpa ji, is it a weakness or is it a strength? It's naturally a weakness. A time nahi milta. It actually means I am not a good manager of my time. तो उसको भी हम शान से बोलते. time ही नहीं मिलता. हाय रे हाय. This is a weakness. That means you cannot manage your time. Means time is equal to life. You are not managing life. And I have a very simple question. Very simple question. If I turn out to be a wonderful chartered accountant, suppose I am known throughout the nation, throughout the globe for a particular topic, say intellectual property or maybe indirect taxes or whatever may be. People consider me as among the top 5 consultants globally. But my health is not supporting me. Where is my wisdom? Where is my wisdom? What is the point in being the best across the globe if I cannot even maintain my health? What is the purpose of that? That means a very lopsided life. That should not be the case. Second thing, which I'd like to say beyond numbers, just to be very quick on it. Today, of course, I'm sure all you people from various chapters will appreciate this. This is more I have to tell people locally is along with the domain expertise, people have to be into technology. Like Nirlep was talking about the technology, Vignesh as the technology guy, the Zoom man. So technology, as he said, no options, we have to upgrade ourselves on that. Technology is a tool. We have to learn more and more. Along with that, of course, communication skills, persuasive communication, I will say. Many times, Nirlep, you must have heard about mummy's calling, बच्चे सुनते ही नहीं. अरे यार अगर तेरा 5 साल का बच्चा नहीं सुनता है तो प्रॉब्लम उसका है कि तेरा है. That's a question. Who is at fault? That also, your weakness you boast. Time नहीं मिलता, weakness है you boast. बच्चे नहीं सुनते. That means you don't have the proper communication. अरे खुद के बच्चे नहीं सुनते यार, दूसरे कहाँ से सुने? So that persuasive communication, I think chartered accountants should improve orally and in writing. Now for chapters, I think it is a must. When you go to different countries, you learn the languages there, you learn English as a language, that is there, but still, that's very important. But now let us add the another dimension. Why not? Along with these things, why don't we see chartered accountants in dance parties? If in a dance party, if there are 50 chartered accountants, why is it so? Hardly 5 are in the center and 45 standing outside. Is it so that seriousness is equal to sincerity? That's a question. Say, for instance, throughout the day, I'm wonderful in my work. Say, financial reporting is my domain, I'm doing wonderful in that. In the evening, if Vignesh and Nirlep calls me, and if I have to dance, and I dance like anything, does it mean I cease to be a professional? Does it mean, I'm not an educated person? I think this notion we have developed over a time. We have developed over a time that professionals means they should be serious. My personal view is a person who is too serious, जिसके चेहरे पे हंसी नहीं है, खुशी नहीं है, he can be anything but not educated person. At least he cannot be a spiritual person and by no means a romantic person. हो ही नहीं सकता, right? तुम्हारे बिना मैं जी नहीं सकता, पारो में ये रोमांस मेरे तो समझ में नहीं आता, मेरे तो समझ में नहीं आता, right? आपके चेहरे पे हंसी नहीं है, खुशी नहीं है, बॉस आपकी प्रेयर्स फालतू है, because I believe the first prayer is happiness. It shows that I believe in something, whatever divinity, by whatever called, I believe in that. So I think this is something very crucial. So along with my interest, I have tremendous interest. I'm too passionate about accounts and costing, but at the same time, who tells me that I should not go to Himalayas every year for trekking? Well, I'm not sure in Doha where you can go for trekking, but at least from Surat, I have a luxury to go to Himalayas every year. I never miss it out. I never miss it out. And who tells me that I cannot be a professional photographer? I cannot go with a professional DSLR and shoot. Right? I can be equally passionate. Right? At my office, I can be passionate with taxation. And once I'm in Himalayas, Amitji, the first thing I do is, for the last 1.5 years, I have not traveled. Otherwise, every year I have 100 holidays. As a council member, it was not very much practicable. But one very important management lesson I learned a few years back is, every year take 100 holidays. 100 holidays. There can be 50 strategic days where you work about the strategy, what you are going to develop in future. And the remaining days only, it is your tactical and day-to-day routine days. Now, believe me, before council, I used to have 100 holidays. 20 days I'll go to Europe alone, purely alone. 20 days to Himalayas alone? Nobody. Because when you go with 5 people, you talk to them, you don't talk with Himalayas. That's a problem. That's a problem. You know, we are so much engulfed into talking with all others. And if you take 5 chartered accountants, baap re baap, Himalaya is going to be audit kadda. So, no ways. So I go alone. And the first thing I do is I switch off my mobile. 20 दिन हिमालयास रहूंगा, 20 दिन यूरोप रहूंगा, मोबाइल नहीं लेके जाऊंगा. दुनिया नहीं रुक जाती है, दुनिया बिल्कुल नहीं रुक जाती है. एंड आई एम हियर टू लिव. बाकी के दिन काम करूंगा ना, ईमानदारी से काम करूंगा. आई डू इट वेरी ऑनेस्टली, आई डू इट इन द बेस्ट पॉसिबल मैनर, बट आई एम हियर टू लिव. अमित जी, सीए Amit Arora is fine, but more important that is Amit Arora. CA Amit Arora is a subset, but many times we do it in the reverse way, right? Our profession is important, domain expert is important, serving the world with our skills is important, but at the same time, living a full life is important. To end up, I would say, I'll very quickly just end up and I'll say, मेरा जो ड्रीम है वो ये है कि आईपीएल की टीम में भी 3-4 सीए होने चाहिए. प्रज्ञा तो है, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं शी इज इनटू सम एक्टिविटी, बट आई वांट मोर एंड मोर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. मे बी trying for mountaineering, trying for cricket. They should be, some must be a national badminton player and somebody should be in hockey or whatever the case may be. Similarly, why not some big music director? We come to know, oh, he's a chartered accountant, right? Why not actors? Why not singers? Of course there are, but this is one of the dreams. And to end up, मेरा एक बहुत फेवरेट है कलाकार, and that is किशोर कुमार. And बात वही है कि जिंदगी जिंदा दिली का नाम है, मुर्दा दिल क्या खाक जिया करते हैं. So निर्लेप, I'd like to tell you one thing here. पल पल दिल के पास तुम रहते हो. 50 years पुराना सॉन्ग है, 50 years, and still you feel as if it has been sung today. Right? प्यार दीवाना होता है, मस्ताना होता है, क्षमा है सुहाना, 2 लफ्जों की है दिल की कहानी. More than 50 years. आज चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं. 60 years. फील नहीं होता है 60 years. ऐसा लगता है कल किसी ने गाया था. ये क्यों होता है पता है? ये अंदर से आया होता है, क्योंकि एक आदमी जी रहा है. वो सिर्फ सिंगर नहीं है, वो जी रहा है. उसके सॉन्ग में जिंदगी है. How can it happen? Now please understand. If a simple man from a small town of Khandwa from Madhya Pradesh, having a Bengali background, comes to Mumbai without any training, no articleship training, no foundation, inter-final pass, nothing, and he comes and wonderfully you find a movie, actor Kishore Kumar, singer Kishore Kumar, music director Kishore Kumar, choreographer, singer. सिर्फ एक एक्ट्रेस में किशोर कुमार नहीं थी, everything else by Kishore Kumar. If a person without any training, only because of the enthusiasm, can be such a great person, so with all the work that we have done up till now, with all our efforts that we have put in, where can we be? So I think this is the thought. With this, I pass on the baton to my other speakers. Thanks a lot, Nirlep, once again for providing this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Sir, with your permission, and I would also request you to sing at least one line. You quoted so many songs, but at least one line of any song, if you can sing, we would be very grateful, sir. If you don't,
what we'll do is we'll do it with the orchestra.
Amit ji,
the only challenge I have is Amit ji and Pragya, I listen to you while I'm in car, because now in Surat it is 9:36 and there is a curfew at 10 o'clock. So within 24 minutes I have to reach my home. I'll be there with my videos off. I'll be in car.
Okay.
I'll definitely need to do something with the music next time. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, sir.
Kishore.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay sir, for an interesting topic beyond the CAs Beyond the Numbers. Next, with an immense pleasure, once again, I welcome all my professional colleagues to the next session of the today's event, CAs Beyond Number, by a well-known news anchor, CA Amit Arora. Amit is a journalist, news reader, anchor, radio jockey, quiz master, and a commentator with over 18 years of experience with Doordarshan and All India Radio. He is the voice behind Independence Day and Republic Day commentary. Amit has anchored prestigious events like presentation of the Union Budget, the Commonwealth Games, Olympics, and visit the state of guests and launch of government initiatives. He has presented several popular programs interviewing the people from politics, sports, arts, and culture. Amit has extensive understanding on media management and is a visiting faculty in many institutions like Delhi University, IP University, and ICI. As a faculty, Amit has mentored over 50,000 professionals over the last decade. Amit, a qualified chartered accountant in May 2001. He has held several senior financial management positions both with corporate and voluntary sector. He combines media with fintech expertise. As a board member, Credibility Alliance from 2014 to 17. Presently is a member, steering committee, Sustainable Sanitation Alliance. I got an opportunity to attend IC International Conference in 2019 Mumbai. Mr. Amit Arora was anchored the entire event. It was a brilliant performance. He always mentioned about his life goal is to fight poverty and spread smiles. Being the elegant combo of media and fintech expertise to foster the financial inclusions and empower the people. Dear members, please help me to welcome a big round of virtual applause to CA Amit Arora. Amitji, virtual floor is all yours. Over to CA Amit.
Thank you very much, CA Kishore Alex, for that kind introduction. Thank you to CA Nirlab Bhatt and the entire executive committee team of ICI Doha for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. I'd like to thank CA Jai Chera sir, respected Central Council member, ICI, and every guest in attendance. Welcome. The topic that I'm here to speak on today is CA Beyond Numbers. And if Jai sir allows and passes on the request of singing to me, I'm more than happy to sing a couple of lines on your behalf, Jai sir. Okay, so he's showing thumbs up. Dilip sir, is that okay?
Please.
So not that I am anywhere close to Kishore Kumar.
Thank you.
But like Jai sir said, if you had a nice day working hard, in the evening you should dance and sing. And since the topic is CA Beyond Numbers, how about a musical welcome to everyone in attendance? So here goes a couple of lines. And if you can figure out who the singer is, on who this song was picturized, the lyricist, the movie name, keep writing on the chat. Here's the song. Rahi tha main आवारा फिरता था मारा मारा तेरे शहर में आकर एक दिन चमका तकदीर का तारा राही था मैं आवारा. Let me tell you that it's been 20 years that I qualified as a chartered accountant, and let me bow in reverence and gratitude to our alma mater ICI. Because when I was in Hindu College, Delhi University, I was certainly having a lot of distractions. But when I joined Chartered Accountancy, and ever since I became CA, it is such a professional degree that I cherish. So I have worked little less as a chartered accountant. I am a journalist who works for Doordarshan, but ICI ensured that all the distractions were away and I could focus on a good career. So thank you, Jai sir, for allowing me to sing. I hope you like the song. Okay, so let me now show the slides that I have for you. I think the song would have given you enough sense that the topic is CA Beyond Numbers. But let me put the caveat straight away that numbers are important too. When Nirlab sir says in 12 months we have done 30 events, there's a number. When he mentioned 27, then please, given the youthful looks of Jai Chera, don't think it was his age. He was mentioning his qualification, right? When Jai sir mentions 100 days holidays, see again the number. Pragna will come and tell you what time she completes the triathlon, another number. So let me put the caveat straight away that numbers are very important, okay? But the point that I'm going to draw across today to everyone is that there is life beyond the number. And let us not, in pursuit of numbers, forget that life. That's the whole idea. So welcome everyone. My name is CA Amit Arora. And through the course of this conversation, if you have any feedback, you can write in the chat, or you could tweet me as well going forward. That's my Twitter ID at @AmiGood. And let me see if I could just do the full screen version of this. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So let's rededicate ourselves to the motto of the ICI, which is a quotation from the Kathopanishad, the Upanishads, Yayeshu Sukteshu Jagrati, which means that person who's awake in those that sleep. Once we do pursue the CA course, I think all of us would agree that there is a certain core skill set that we develop that includes common sense, observation, analysis. CA stands for challenge accepted. And once we accept that challenge, then we do solve the problem. And therefore, the society sees two primary roles for us. One, that of complete business solution provider. In the other, nation builder. So today, as I focus on CA Beyond Numbers, the core skill set remains the same. That's the skill set we hone in progressive manner. So how do we use that skill set and go beyond numbers while we are in the CA field, like many of us are, or we use the same core skill set in other fields, like Pragma and myself, who are not into chartered accountancy as such, but very, very honored to prefix CA and use the core skill set that we acquired while pursuing the course. So first of all, it's a special day today, the 25th of January. It's National Voters' Day, because it was on this day, 1950, that the Election Commission came into existence. All of us would know that the first Lok Sabha elections happened in 1952. And of course, this is the eve of the 73rd Republic Day, and wishing you everyone a very happy 73rd Republic Day. Now, I told you one of the core skill set CA has is that of observation. Now, do you know what is special about the 73rd Republic Day? That has never happened in the 72 editions before. Look at this invitation card. This is the invitation card given by the Defense Ministry, Government of India. Absolute unique. What's the uniqueness this time? This card has embedded in it medicinal seeds. You heard me right. So Ayush Ministry came up with the idea, once you have laid your hands on this card, not only you'll get access to Rajpath tomorrow, but after that, you can actually just tear it, put it in the pot, and you'll have these plants come out. This is biodegradable recycled paper. The point I'm to draw across is that for CAs to go beyond numbers, let's commit ourselves to ESG. Abo Hawa, like Jay sir said, environment, so very critical. Social governance. So beyond numbers, let's embrace ESG. Environmental would mean let's get more focused on renewable fuels, more knowledge on the greenhouse gas emissions. The companies we are auditing, let us also report on the sustainability in terms of energy efficiency, the climate risk, how are they managing their water, do they have a scrap dealing policy, are they contributing to the circular economy, what is the emergency preparedness, on the social front, are they respecting the working conditions, human rights, what's the impact on the local communities? All of this is becoming very critical. And in governance, there is renewed focus on ethical standards. Talking about ethical standards, you know that IESBA is one of the important bodies, which is the International Ethical Standards Board for Accountants. Now, come 1st of April this year, we'll have the NOCLAR become effective here in India. So what's NOCLAR? It's non-compliance with laws and regulations. And the question is, we already had the SA 250 that talked about considering the laws and regulations in an audit. So how come NOCLAR is different? Well, it's different because sometimes even when the auditors were embracing SA 250, there was always an element of confidentiality of the business of the client. And second, was that even part of the scope? And if they do find something which is illegal, how do they go about writing in a format, and to whom? So now NOCLA takes care of that. What is expected now from the government and the larger public interest is that chartered accountants go beyond numbers. If there is anything illegal happening, then in public interest, overriding the confidentiality of the client, it ought to be brought to the notice of the appropriate authority. And NOCLA also now provides a framework to guide all the professional accountants in deciding how best to act in the public interest. So that's again, ethics, that's CA Beyond Numbers, acting in public interest. Now, I think in medical field, all of us would agree that we have a physician and we have a surgeon. And the society is very happy to accept both, respect both. The scope of both is also well recognized. So what's the difference? Physician is who checks you, and if there is any illness, gives you medicine. Surgeon usually comes into the picture when the medicine don't work. Then you have to operate, right? Similarly, in CA, I think time has come, this new year 2022, as we wish each other Happy New Year, to let the world know that there is two separate roles. One, that CA is an auditor. Two, you want us to investigate, then we are in the role of investigator. When we are as an auditor, we are representing the true and fair view. So that is an assurance. There could still be a scam that may go unnoticed, but that doesn't mean that post the scam, people say, where is the auditor? Well, it's not necessary for the audit to find all the scams. We're giving an opinion, a learned opinion on the truthness and fairity of the financial statements. Now, if the society wants us to also go a little deeper, then just like physician and surgeon, also have the investigator role being crystallized. That's CA Beyond Numbers. CA Beyond Numbers. Time has come because that is the expectation of the society. Now, technology will play a big role. Look at these two pictures. Phone is now a computer which can call. Even if Graham Bell were to come to Earth again, he will probably be having challenge recognizing the modern day phones. It's gone too far. And I think we all are a really lucky generation, because never ever in the history of mankind has it ever happened in the history of humanity that at the click of the button, the whole world can listen to you. I believe this particular session organized by the ICI Doha chapter is being live streamed on YouTube, which means the person can join us from America, Europe, Asia Pacific, across the globe. That's the power. And therefore, CA Beyond Numbers. Can chartered accountants, with all the financial and business acumen that they have, create awareness, leveraging technology? Say, for example, there is something called IEPF. This is under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and SEBI wanted it to be coming into existence. So according to the Companies Act 2013, Investor Education and Protection Fund was created. As of date, over 2,000 crores rupees lie in IPF, which is the unclaimed amount of shares, debentures, dividend on the same. I believe CAs have a role to play to guide those investing in securities that if you have an unclaimed amount, please claim that. Look at the status of the EPFO. It's a very popular retirement savings scheme. But can you write in the chat, what's the unclaimed amount of EPF lying with the EPFO? Just take a guess and write in the chat. I'll give you 30 seconds. Okay, so Manish Kumar is close to the answer. It is about, it's about half of what you've written is about 25,000 crore. I'm saying that CAs need to play a role, that these 25,000 crores standing in EPFO, unclaimed, and about 2,000 crore go to their respective beneficiaries. Not only this, now that we have opened so many bank accounts, we are talking about banking the unbanked. We're talking about funding the unfunded, say through Mudra schemes. We're talking about securing the unsecured, whether it is pension, insurance schemes. We're talking about connecting the unconnected, reaching out to the rural areas, ensuring equitable growth, creating digital infrastructure, reaching the unreached. I think overall for an inclusive economy, it's essential that chartered accountants play an increasing role. So this is CAs going beyond numbers, ensuring that whatever has worked, that successful model is replicated and we are having an inclusive economy. I think COVID has taught us a lesson that if all of us are not taken care of, then the virus is not going to go away. I think 50 years down the line, we all will remember COVID as something that brought humanity together. And I believe that humanity has the power to be its own savior. So whether you are in Doha, whether you are in Bahrain, Kuwait, America, wherever you are, or in India, I'm saying some of the challenges that planet Earth face are common. And therefore, inclusive economy becomes very essential. So coming back to the slide, CA Beyond Numbers, I hope we are reasonably clear of the first half, that we could still be in the field of chartered accountancy, as many of you are, but still go beyond numbers and contribute. So we have to be mindful of the ESG. We have to be mindful of the upcoming changes in legislations, the ethics, sustainability. All of this becomes very crucial. Now, the other part of CA Beyond Numbers is, how about being in other field? So you can well be a CA, but you are in another field. I think we must really pay gratitude to ICI Doha, because we've got a very strong proponent of chartered accountants excelling in other field. We have amongst us CA Pragma Mohan, and she'll be speaking right after me. We're all looking very eagerly to speak to her. She's a triathlete. For those of us who only know cricket or a little bit of the beautiful game football, can you tell me, write in chat, can you tell me what are the 3 sports, when I say triathlon, what are the 3 sports that are included? Pragna is also watching. Let's see whether we get many of the people in chat right. What are the 3 sports of triathlon? Okay, so we've got Manish Kumar, very active in chatting. He's got the fastest fingers, wondering whether he's ever appeared on the KBC. Shilpa Pavani, the right answer. No, she's saying swimming twice. Suresh says swimming, cycling, athletes. Okay, well, innovation is so very essential for CA to go beyond numbers. So if I have the permission of the chair, Nirlap sir, while Pragna will speak for 45 minutes, can I just request her to make a cameo appearance and say something for 1 line and share more about the sport of triathlon?
Absolutely, please.
Pragna, welcome. People are very keen to have at least a trailer from you. What is triathlon, and are you a triathlete first or a chartered accountant first?
I think I'm both. Like both of the parts of my identity make who I am and make me popular, or has been invitational in this. So triathlon is a combination sport of swimming, cycling, and running.
So it's a long distance running?
So it is long distance. It is swimming 1.5 kilometers, followed by 40 kilometers of cycling and 10 kilometers of running.
Wow. And is that in that order, that swimming has to be first?
Yes. Generally, it is swimming is first. Swimming, cycling, and running.
So that means, Ankur, it's wrong answer. Running is not first. Shilpaji, wrong answer. So it has to be swimming, cycling, and then running, right? Swimming, cycling, and then running.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we've really learned about that. Before I let you go, I love asking questions. Your biggest memory of during CA articleship days?
So CA articleship days, I really enjoyed. I was an intern with EY. So I really enjoyed, I think getting the leadership roles because of sports. I had a lot of stamina. So one particular audit I remember is I was auditing Coca-Cola. And we had the finalization, and we spent almost we were there till 2 a.m. in the morning. So I think that was a memorable incident. I also had tussle with my managers and stuff. So it was a very different experience.
So that means that triathlon requires a lot of endurance. It was during the articleship itself that you had that spirit of endurance within you.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you so much for this cameo. And I'm sure that we're all waiting with bated breath to listen to CA Pragma Mohan in just a bit. Thank you very much, Pragma, for helping us understand triathlon well. So thank you, everyone who responded in the chat. So in terms of the other fields, here you are, Pragna. And as you know, the meaning of her name is unique. Every child, they say, is unique. And therefore, you can become a chartered accountant, but still retain your USP. If it is endurance, how about triathlon as a sport? Do whatever you feel like, because it's one life and you know best that what's your skill set. Now, if you don't want to take to sports, there's another option. Well, yours truly is a sports commentator. I truly enjoy when I do commentary for Olympics, and this is on 7th of August. Sitting with me is India athlete Rupinder Singh, who used to run 800 meters. And that day, India won gold medal. You know, we also feel being part of the history when we do commentary sitting on the live, Doordarshan studios. And when Neeraj won that gold, I can tell you the entire studio was absolutely, just mesmerized. Not only we covered Olympics, we covered Paralympics. This is Trivendra Singh, who will be representing in the Paris Olympics. He's a table tennis player. And you know that Bhavina Bain got a silver. And what a moment it was on that particular day. So we were playing table tennis live on Doordarshan Sports that day. And how sitting on a wheelchair, Bhavina Bain plays table tennis, and the kind of, commitment she showed on that particular day. The entire team is absolutely ecstatic. Live broadcasting is great fun. You never know what's going to happen next moment. I remember on that day, 7th of August, we all were expecting Neeraj to do well. But when we started live, this is a picture taken at 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning. And Aditi, who was ranked 200 in golf, ended up coming at number 4. She missed out a bronze by a whisker, just a whisker. And trust me, we learn some things, as we do commentary. So when she was playing golf that morning, and we had to do live commentary for golf for a couple of hours, we don't do commentary for golf as such. So you have to pick very fast. What is at par? What is putt? What is birdie? What is bogey? Is there a genuine chance for Aditi to win a bronze? Not many would have given her a chance. And that's why I go beyond numbers. Because if you look at the number, what was Aditi's ranking in golf at the start of Tokyo Olympics? 200. Where did she finish her campaign? Number 4. Just one shot. If she could have done a little better, she would have got us a bronze, unprecedented in golf. So that's great fun. And trust me, handling all of this pressure is personally easy for me, having done a challenging course like chartered accountancy. I absolutely, live broadcasting is just play. Every day we are in front of the camera, having the microphone in radio, and we just thoroughly enjoy ourselves. It's a team game, but we really enjoy bringing news to you in public interest. The other day, just a couple of days back, I did this live show. This was on Omicron. So all these months, the last 2 years, we've had a lot of live shows. And the idea again is to analyze the impact of the COVID pandemic and make people aware. So here are the panel of the scientists and eminent doctors. And then you have the callers who call us live on the show. See, it's the analysis that chartered accountancy teaches you, that you don't struggle asking questions. So you will ask, okay, what are the symptoms? How is the symptom in Omicron different from the one that we saw in Delta? Then when is it that the doctors prescribe antibiotics? Make people aware that antibiotics primarily are to fight bacterial infection. Whereas when you talk about Omicron, it's a viral infection, which essentially means, as a rule of thumb, no antibiotics are prescribed to fight Omicron, right? So I'm saying that you have to understand it yourself, analyze. If I had taken 2 jabs of Covaxin earlier, and now I have to take a booster shot, do I have to take Covaxin only? What if somebody was in America, took 2 shots of Pfizer, back in India now? Here in India, you don't have Pfizer vaccine available. Which booster shot will they give? I'm saying these questions, with all permutations and combinations, become easy for me to ask, courtesy the learnings I had as a chartered accountant. Because you know how to analyze the business 360 degree. It becomes very easy. So it might sound incredible to you, but certainly anchoring becomes easy. News reading becomes easy. Commentary becomes easy because of the chartered accountancy skills that you had. So when I do commentary for Independence Day, it's like when President Kalam said chartered accountant is a nation builder, you really feel very humbled and you do your best. Similarly, when we learned during chartered accountancy days how to draft a legal opinion, so that also helps you to know how to draft your commentary. That if you have to do commentary, okay, let me begin by wishing everyone Independence Day. Then maybe I will describe the Red Fort. Then maybe the camera will pan right in front. I'll talk about Chandni Chowk. In comes Prime Minister. I'll start talking about him. He takes the Guard of Honor. I'll describe how the Guard of Honor is going to happen. Yes. He comes up onto the ramparts. Then you probably start talking about the tricolor. So I'm saying that because we drafted the legal opinion, you always knew how to go about putting the section, case law, and you never struggled with words. Similarly for radio. So television, you still have pictures. So you can take strategic pauses because the pictures are telling their own story. But when you're doing cricket commentary, say for radio, it's an entire team. You've got the scorer. So scorer will keep a tab on the scores and the wickets. And you have to constantly analyze and speak. In radio, you can't even have a pause of 1 second. And God forbid, if it rains, and you have no play happening for say half an hour, 1 hour, that is when your skill as a commentator gets tested. Because you have to kind of bring in everything from weather to food, to any controversy in cricket that might be happening, to any future changes, everything. So, and you'll be very happy, right behind me is Sushil Doshi ji, who's actually a cricket commentator, the first one to get Padma Award. And just about an hour back, the Padma Awards have been announced because usually Padma Awards are announced on the eve of Republic Day. So it's a huge honor for cricket commentators that one of us got the Padma Awards a few years back. Now, here's the breaking news, by the way. So we talked about newsreader, we talked about radio jockey, we've talked about the sports personality. I'm very happy to share that this year I'm pouring into film as well. So we've shot this film. It is into post-production right now. It'll be released in June. And I'm very happy about doing this film because, when you enact a particular person in a film, it's really like understanding life more closely. So my film is called Friday, and look at this poster. This is a shot that I had to give where, the character's name is Anubhav. He comes back home. He rings the bell. Nobody opens the door. He knocks the door. Nobody opens because his family members are very unhappy. And of course, you have to watch the film to know the plot. And then that night, he actually stays outside. Now, never ever have I stayed outside my house like that. Now, how do you imagine? How do you visualize? How do you bring those emotions? So I sometimes believe that when you do enact a certain role, you get connected to life and you understand those emotions well. So having portrayed this character of Anubhav, I was very happy. And I'm very happy that, I have this film which is coming this year, because ultimately you have to realize that what is it that you feel good at? Ultimately, you are here to live. So one can do the traditional chartered accountancy roles of accounting, auditing, financial management, but that is not what CA is limited to. With the core skill set that I had pointed out of common sense, observation, analysis, challenge accepted attitude, and problem solving approach, contributing to the role of being a complete business solution provider and nation builder. Trust me, we are capable of doing anything. Personally, I experience freedom in creativity. I just love day in, day out doing some creative stuff because it comes from the soul. You can never get fatigued. Here, as a journalist, I can tell you, we have no difference between Sunday and Monday, because the breaking news never sees it's Sunday or Monday. For us, there is no difference between weekdays and weekends. We do take time off because you have to be in solitude at times to rejuvenate yourself, to read, to increase your vocabulary, to write fresh scripts. But there is no pressure per se, because we as artists enjoy a certain freedom. And freedom is the core value of our being. And trust me, when you do follow your passion, which could be beyond the numbers, you will feel very light, because no matter how much valuables you may accumulate, at the end of the day, if you compare, it'll always be values which weighs more, simply because in the values is also freedom. So I hope that you have creative freedom. You are not bound by numbers, but you go beyond numbers. So that is what I wanted to present on CAs Beyond Numbers. And for those wondering that why did I have this picture of beautiful sparrows in the nest? Well, if companies get profit, but species from the planet become extinct, that profit is not profit. So that's why profit has to be seen along with planet and people. So if number of sparrows go less, there is no point in having the number of profit go up. Let's respect sparrows. Let's also ensure their nest stays. And let's ensure that all of us can fly just like a bird. And the sky is also not the limit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your enriching session, how CS can excel in multiple fields. I can take 1-2 questions to you from the audience.
Yes, please.
The first question came, how can identify and realize the passion and apply our CA knowledge?
See, it is not going to happen if we think too much, right?
Yeah.
Your passion will occur to you on a given day when you are not wanting to know it, right? You probably need to spend little time in solitude without the precondition कि आज शाम को 5 बजे तक पता लग जाए passion, तो 5:15 उस पे अपन चालू हो जाए. So don't put that kind of pressure. Only when you are absolutely in a yogic state, on one fine day, when you strike a resonant chord with what interests your soul, trust me, you're going to find your passion. But still, if you are insisting on some materialistic indicators, if you want to do something and you don't see time, that is what you are keen on. If you do that every full day, but at the end of the day, you don't feel fatigued, that's where the passion lies. If you do something very naturally and people compliment you there, that is where the passion lies. But till the time you find your passion, please continue doing chartered accountancy and consider chartered accountancy as your passion.
It's a very, very interesting answer, and move to the next questions.
Yes, please.
Next question came from our lovely smiling chapter chairperson, C. Nirla Bhatt. Who was the toughest interviewer and the situation you ever had in your life?
Well, I've had a chance to interview from a common person to the Prime Minister of the country, but difficult to pick one. But I can tell you that the day Kingfisher launched, I had the chance to interview half an hour live Vijay Mallya, who is the chairman of UB Group, and that day he came, and this is 2005, if I recall. I had that interview on YouTube. That was very good because he responded very well. Although I did try to corner him on a couple of questions, but I thought he answered it pretty well. Similarly, I had a chance to interview the former Prime Minister VP Singh, and he used to get dialysis at that point of time. So he used to go to Apollo to get dialysis. So I remember to one of my questions, he said, "Ek din maut se ladta hu, to ek din ji pata hu." So after that, I don't know from where I asked him the question. मैंने पूछा सिंह साहब कि आपको मरने से डर लगता है? So after a pause, he said, "अब नहीं लगता है." The former Prime Minister, with that kind of mood, that was too early in my career, around 2002, 2003. That was very good because it struck a resonant chord. Sharmila Tagore, I always had a liking for. And when I interviewed her for the first time, I was absolutely in awe of her. Brilliant. I think that was about 2006. Of course, sports persons, when you interview them, that is fantastic. I remember when Anil Kumble resigned, I was among the first to interview him. And the first question I asked him is, "Anil, you've retired from the international cricket. Has it sunk in yet?" So he says, no, it's not sinking in Amit. After about 10 minutes interview, the last question I asked him was, "Do you listen to All India Radio?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Anil, what is the best part of All India Radio?" He said, "You don't know what the next song will be," which is not the case with iPad. So I really like that. I remember Rajyavardhan Rathore, when he won gold in Melbourne Commonwealth Games. I was reading news on DD News. Suddenly the producer tells me, "Amit, Rajyavardhan has won the gold." Cut across to Ravi, the reporter, who's live there at the shooting ring. So I was reading the news and I said, well, in the Melbourne Commonwealth Games, good news coming for India as India's Rajyavardhan Rathore has won a gold medal. Let us go across to our correspondent, Ravi, who's right there. Ravi, over to you. Now, I said that thinking maybe Ravi will ask questions to Rajyavardhan Rathore. But from there, it says like, hello. And I said, I had interviewed Rajavardhan earlier because he had won silver in Athens. So I said, Rajavardhan? He said, yes. So I said, congratulations. So Ravi had just handed the phone to Rajavardhan and gone. Now I had to interview him, and the producer told me, Amit, jitna khich sakte ho khicho, live, exclusive hai. And I interviewed him for 7 minutes. So that was very good because, once you're sitting right there and something happens, one more thing, I'll tell you, the day Pranab Mukherjee became president, the counting day, I read the first news bulletin at 6:30 a.m. in the morning or DD News. My duty was till about 1:30. I read about half a dozen bulletins. 1:30 bulletin ke baad, I just removed my makeup. I said bye-bye to everyone. I headed back to my home because 2:30 onwards, there was another news reader who was supposed to take. Now, 2:30, when she read, it was not up to expectations. I got a call back, Amit, come back, DG saying you continue from 3:30. I said, okay, so I came back. Now, how did CA help me? I had made an Excel sheet. Now, if you know how the counting of presidency polls happen, you've got MLAs, a certain share from every state, union territory. So it's a big Excel sheet. So I had done Andhra Pradesh, how many MLAs, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. So as a reporter from different states was telling me that so many votes has come to Pranab Mukherjee, so many to Sangma, I was adding them and I was telling the totals. So it's like there's so many stories. Every day you do a story. Like the other day on the Makar Sankranti, we did a live program 7 to 8 in the morning. We had 75 lakh people join us and do Surya Namaskar. So I had on my show, Swami Ramdev, he joined. I had Ayush Minister. Initially, we thought Ayush Minister is going to join us only for 2 minutes. You know how the ministers say we're only going to come for 2 minutes. But the Ayush Minister stayed on for a full 1 hour doing the Surya Namaskar. So, it's absolutely fantastic. And I take great pride working for the public service broadcaster because our mandate is very clear, whether Doordarshan or All India Radio, that make sure that you send out the message of nation building and all of these policies of the chosen government to the people of India. So every day is very special.
That's a great answer, and you covered with your experience. Due to time constraint, I can take only the last question to you. What is the common things between anchoring and the CA profession? What's the most common thing between the anchoring and the CA profession?
Common sense, observation, analysis. You have to accept the challenge in both. And in both, you have to have a problem-solving approach. Because on a given day, the guest may not turn up. On a given day, your mic may go conk off. You may be reading news and the producer tells ki Amit, take a break. And you say, okay, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we'll get you the news from the world of sports. And then you just go down thinking break chalegi. For some reason, the break didn't go. And the producer says, continue. Now you're looking like a fool and you say, okay, we'll take a break. Let's continue with sports. So no matter what, you are the face of the entire team. You have to take embarrassment in your stride. On a given day, notwithstanding your entire effort, it could still be a flop show. On a given day when you have not done hard work, it could still be a hit show. In the world of glamour, you never know what is going to be hit or flop. When my film is going to release, I'm very confident it's a beautiful family drama. You never know. It could be a box office damn squib. It could be a money spinner for us. But trust me, notwithstanding the outcome, we will continue to do this day in, day out, because when we make this, we enjoy the process.
Thank you so much, CA Amit Arora. It was a wonderful, very informative, and it has opened up many views and ideas. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experience, and all the best for your upcoming films. It should be definitely blockbuster, okay? And may I request CA Devagi Nandan to introduce next speaker. Over to CA Devagi.
Thank you, Kishore. Dear members, it gives me an immense pleasure to invite and introduce second speaker of the day. Who could be better than Pragma Mohan to inspire us with her words of wisdom? Pragma Mohan is Ahmedabad-based chartered accountant and international athlete. She represents India at international triathlon events. She is the current South Asian and Indian triathlon champion. In May 2019, she became the first Indian ever at Triathlon World Cup. She has also won gold medals at both the South Asian and National Games. In last couple of years, she has trained and competed across continents in Asia, Australia, and Europe. She is currently training for the 24 Paris Olympics. For her sports achievement, she was conferred with the Gujarat State's top sports honor, the Unclaimed Award in the year 2015. She has over the last 20 years won 500 plus medals, including 128 state championship medals. She has been awarded the Women Achiever Award at various forums, including the Ahmedabad branch of ICAR. She has also been awarded the Best Athlete Award of Ahmedabad University and Sports Girl of the Year at HLIC College. Pragna has been able to balance her academics with sports successfully. A good science student till 12th standard, Pragna is a qualified chartered accountant. As a CA student, she made research paper presentation in 8 national and international conventions, even winning a Best Paper Presenter Award. She was also selected by ICAI for international convention in Sri Lanka and Pakistan. She was facilitated by the Melbourne branch of ICAI in 2020, where she was training for her sport. Pragna is a public as well as a motivational speaker. She has been given TEDx talks at IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore. Alongside, she has given motivational talks at CA National Students Conventions at Mumbai, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Surat, Rajkot, Prayagraj, and Tirupur. She is also in the Indian Triathlon Federation committee to popularize the sports nationwide. Her life story was covered in a book, Nightingales 2.0, How 11 Women Showed Grit, Guts, and Gumption, written by Chennai-based well-known CA Patavi Ram and Shiv Kumar R. You can also know more about Pragna on the wiki, and you can also follow her on the LinkedIn, and you can also add her in the Instagram with Pragma Mohan. Dear members, please help me welcome with big round of applause CA Pragma Mohan. CA Pragma Mohan.
Thank you so
Virtual
much.
screen is all yours. Over to
Thank you so much, CA Triprawal, for such a wonderful introduction. And thank you everyone for joining today. I would like to share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay. So hello everyone, good evening. So today I'll be taking you through my journey of how I have come, beyond numbers. And I also want to thank Doha branch of ICAI for giving me this opportunity of interacting with all their members today. And I'll be taking you through my journey and what I've learned through it, which has not only helped me in sports, but in life in general. The life of a sports person is like an iceberg. What you see, the successes, is only 1/10 of the story. The realities lie hidden underwater. Let us take a deep dive today to understand the rest of the story of a sports person. The journey of me becoming the current National Women Triathlon Champion and also the South Asian Women Triathlon Champion and the only Indian ever at Triathlon World Cup has been riddled with challenges all along the way. The sport of triathlon, as CA Amit Arora ji mentioned, includes swimming, cycling, and running. So take the longest swimming distance at the Olympic Games in the pool, that is 1500 meters or 1.5 kilometers. Add to it the longest track cycling distance at the Games, 40 kilometers, and finish it with the longest track running distance at the Olympic Games, 10 kilometers. That is the Olympic distance triathlon. That is my race. Somehow I was passionate about swimming since my childhood. It required a lot of persuasion to get me out of the swimming pool once I got in. My first swimming competition beyond the school level was the CBSE West Zonal competition in 2002, where I participated when still under 8 years of age. I had learned different strokes only a few months before. Imagine coming first in a race and then getting disqualified. I had mixed breaststroke with butterfly, the two strokes together with one another during the competition, and failed. My life, like most people, especially sports person, are full of mistakes and failures. I think I cried then, but soon overcame that and jumped into the pool and tried again and again. And I'm happy that the failure did not stop me. My 128 state championship medals and multiple national championship and international medals earned after that are a proof. It may sound I had an easy ride. No way. It was a series of trials and errors, many, many more failures than success, tons of frustration, but the motto was simple. If we strive, it's no disgrace, though we did not win the race. What should you do in that case? Try, try, try again. Interestingly, my first national medal isn't in swimming. It is in the martial arts of Taekwondo. And my first earning was through winnings in chess. As an active child, I took up every activity which was offered to me, which was plenty, given the endurance that I brought to the table owing to my daily swim training. I got my hands dirty in everything that my school had to offer, be it badminton, table tennis, chess, football, kho-kho, athletics, squash, tennis, and even games which one might deem unsuitable for me owing to my short height, like high jump, long jump, and basketball. All this was finally endorsed many years later by world chess icon Vishwanathan Anand when he visited my school and said that we need to try or taste many things as if they are laid out in a buffet and decide which tastes good enough to take more. He said that this was a way of life and not to be shunned. And for me, that was the love for water, which I discovered at the early age of 2. My schedule for the high school years was to wake up at 4:20 a.m., get ready, and leave for swimming pool, start swimming at 5:30, finish at 7, get ready, come home, have breakfast, rush to catch the school bus at 8:10, attend school till 4 p.m., come back home, reach the swimming pool by 5:30, swim till 7, come back home, have dinner, do homework, and go to sleep. This may look tedious, but I was enjoying it. I liked it. Unknowingly, at that age, I had found a passion and working hard for which did not bother me. And to a certain extent, I think it was because of the supportive environment that I had in my home and in my school, which helped me progress. This ensured that I won the best swimmer of the state title consecutively for 4 years. In 2007, I went for my first ever river swim race in Narmada River. Open water swimming requires an additional skill of maintaining an axis by targeting a faraway fixed feature. This is different than following the black straight line in the swimming pool. Being a swimming pool swimmer who took a somersault every 50 meters, I had no knowledge or ability in this. I kept wandering away from the center in that race. Every time I deviated, a motorboat would come near me and ask me to correct the course. I finished second in my age group. Later, my parents found that there were crocodiles in the river, and the sound of motorboat's engine was keeping them away. A swimmer who went astray was in danger. I luckily escaped unharmed. If I knew of the dangers lurking in the water, I think I would have never taken that plunge. In 2004, my brother, a chess player and in no way cut for endurance sports, asked my dad to help him train for the school 7-kilometer run. I decided to jump in as well for the 5-kilometer race for girls. Both of us finished second in our events. More importantly, I felt good running. This was the start of my running journey. Gradually, I started running the local 5-8 kilometer races and getting some podiums. A 21-kilometer run with Milind Soman to support his Triathlon in 2012 made me realize my potential in distance running. Cycling started like for many others, with a tricycle at an early age. By the time I reached 9th standard, I was cycling 20 kilometers a day to and from my swimming pool for my early morning swim sessions. I never knew these trips would repay me and how. In 2013, I won 1 lakh prize money in a 50-kilometer cycling race. This was a big bang start of my competitive cycling journey. In over 10 years of swimming in school, I reached the final 8 in national championship multiple times. In Goa, Surat, Bangalore, Amritsar, Bhopal, Rajkot, and Porbandar, but never the podium. It has taken more than a decade for me to realize that I'm not a good sprinter. Therefore, these 50, 100-meter races were not for me. I needed the challenge of longer races, 1 to 2 hours or more. I was, as you may call in Hindi, lambi race ka ghoda. Once realized and implemented, it gave me quick results. By the time this realization was happening to take up endurance sports, I had already entered the intermediate or the IPCC phase of Chartered Accountancy course. Prime Minister Modi, then the Chief Minister of Gujarat, where I live, was building the wave of his popularity. Lots of programs were organized in Gujarat, business meets, cultural and sports, marathons and cycle races with national level competition, and lots of prize money were happening right at my doorstep in Ahmedabad. In 2013 and 2014, I won quite a few and became an income tax payer in the first financial year out of school. In the process, I realized that while I was a good swimmer, I was competitive in running and cycling as well. Now, it was only a matter of time before I combined these to start preparing for the comparatively new but challenging sport of triathlon. Within a year of my attempt at triathlon, I had won the Women National Championship title. While learning and mastering 3 sports is tough, cycling exposes the athlete to accidental possibilities on public roads during training. I have had a few life-threatening accidents while cycling on the road. In 2015, while cycling on the ring road in Ahmedabad, I was hit by an SUV. After the accident, I got up, called my dad to come at the accident location. Once home, he started assessing the cuts and bruises that I had on my body. Lying on the bed, I started moving and asking him to let me go and get ready for office. He thought I was joking, but on my persistence, my parents started questioning me about the morning incident. I didn't have a clue about it. They realized that there was something wrong. Took me to a neurologist who confirmed that in accidents due to the trauma, at times the body deletes some memory. After this, I got really scared and did not return to the roads for almost 3 to 4 months. My support group of parents and friends pushed me back. Even after that, whenever a vehicle zoomed past me, I used to get scared and drop my pace. It took an immense amount of time and support to build the confidence back to be able to cycle without fear. Accident might have dissuaded me temporarily, but it couldn't shake my spirit as I won the state cycling champion title 3 times in a row. I have over time discovered that resilience is the key in this sport and life in general for success. One may fail many times, but getting up and walking that mile will make a notable difference. In triathlon races, we cycle and run on regular roads which have turns, crossings, potholes, speed breakers, and everything else that one does not even expect. In the cycling leg, because of the high speed and the focus of remaining ahead, triathletes often make mistakes in turnings and go the wrong way. In an international race in 2016, I thought I had understood the route as the turn was next to a petrol pump. During the race, When I reached the turn, the petrol station did not look like the ones that I was used to seeing in my city. I wavered and went straight the wrong way. It was disappointment, but a lesson to take the preparatory seriously. 2015 accident was my first accident with a car on the road. But my first serious accident in cycling was in 2014, 3 days before my national triathlon championship. This was when I touched the rear wheel of a fellow cyclist and fell during an early morning training. I got dragged on the road along with my cycle and had internal and external injuries in the face, chest, abdomen, legs, the entire right side of my body on which I'd fallen. With many ifs and buts, I showed up at the start line of my first national triathlon championship. The year-long training came in handy as I took home the national champion title. In retrospect, showing up at the start line made the difference. Showing up is half the battle won. There are some funny incidences that have happened. I am friendly with dogs. Even on my run workouts, I stopped to pat street dogs. In an race, a stray dog started chasing me when I was running. I had no time to stop for him. In the process of avoiding the chase, I had a fall. The dog was staring at me, looking confused and wondering what just happened. He expected a different outcome, maybe the joy of shooing me away. But here I was, tumbled and lying flat on the road. And he was looking over me with a very confused face. In the cycle leg of race, we generally draft behind each other as competitors to reduce air drag and effort. A bunch of cyclists normally take turns to lead the pack. In a race, a competitor refused to take her share of leading role. So I gave up waiting and took the lead instead. She started drafting behind me. This was unfair. Suddenly, I noticed a man crossing the road. I shouted at him. He got confused and stopped in the middle of the road. I could somehow escape hitting him. My competitor, hidden behind me, was not able to see ahead. She crashed into the man, causing an accident, got hurt, and was out of the race. Karma repays. But this fast repayment was something I'd never witnessed until then. My first hospitalization happened in Australia, where I skid in a downhill cycling and broke my right thumb and passed out. This happened in December 2017 when I was in Melbourne, Australia, training for triathlon, first time under an international course. I slipped while avoiding a pothole in a downhill cycling leg, went unconscious, and woke up in an hospital with injuries all over, including a broken thumb. I had a loss of memory. In the emergency, I was constantly asking the nurse, "Where am I? What happened to me?" Till date, I don't remember the accident and those 8-9 hours post-accident. Whatever I know of is through people who helped me after the incident. I remained admitted in that hospital, got operated for the fracture, phoned my parents in India not to come as I would try to manage myself, which I did. This was all new to me as it was my first experience of being admitted in a hospital, and that too in a foreign land. After I was discharged, I packed up with one arm in cast and returned to India. I brought an indoor cycling trainer and remained in training even with a cast on. The previous experience of 2015 had taught me that I had a warrior spirit in me and that I could go back to the roads, this time with less fear and more confidence. The moment my physiotherapy was successful, I was cycling on the roads. A couple of elite cyclists and triathletes are fatally knocked off the roads every year somewhere in the world. The sport has its share of lurking dangers. I know this is a risk that must be accepted if I wish to pursue the sport. A similar accident in Spain has left a steel clamp inside my left wrist. My brother jokes that I'm surveying the facilities in hospitals internationally. He opines that at this rate, soon I'll be an expert in comparing the medical facilities across countries, which I think will be a niche area of work. Triathlon has its other shares of challenges too. In triathlon races, we swim in open water, meaning swimming leg of the competition happens in lakes, rivers, or seas. Once, me and my coach Eva were training in the sea off the party island Ibiza. The water was pristine clear. It was fun watching the active aquatic life underwater. Eva cautioned me to stay clear of the jellyfishes, and suddenly I heard a screech. A jellyfish had stung Eva. But I could not escape the jellyfish for long. They finally caught up with me in Melbourne. During the Corona lockdown, I was in Melbourne. Due to frequent shutdowns of swimming pools, I did lots of sea swimming in the bay. There were quite some jellies there. And I was stung by them many a times. Once, seriously, as my face was swollen for almost a week and it required medical attention. So triathlon is not that easy. 10 years back, I was doing what I like to do and was a hero of my school, my city, and my state because of it. What else could I ask for? Over time, I became the national champion, South Asian champion, won medals at national games, South Asian games, and participated at various other international competitions, and honored with various awards along with Gujarat State's Top Sports Award, Eklavya Award. These were the results of dedicated efforts and perseverance. Sports and education has been very complementary in my journey as a chartered accountant and a international athlete. Because of sports, I have much higher stamina, hemoglobin level, and strength to take load and stress. When I was working as an intern in EY, as you all know, we had to put in long hours during doing audits at our client locations. So while most of my colleagues would tire out soon, I could go on for hours and still maintain cheerful disposition, encouraging others to finish their assignments, even helping them finish their assignments. This got me into leadership positions within my peer groups. I could sail through the tough course of chartered accountancy and qualify because of the ability developed to put in hours when required. Today, our topic of discussion is CAs Beyond Numbers, but we all know that as chartered accountants, how much we love numbers and number crunching. Well, data is the new diamond and sports is no different now. Sports training is now a science. Tons of data is generated using the electronic these days. The analysis of the data requires an educated and analytical mind. My academics and CA in particular helps me understand the theory behind my training. This not only helps me to train better, but also to understand my body mechanism, which ensures the best training to achieve optimal results. During my CA course, I got the opportunity to write papers and present in 1 international and 7 national conferences. I pursued this so that I could keep abreast with the new developments in our field. It not only enhanced my knowledge on technical topics, but also helped me get over the stage fright and gain self-confidence. It obviously helped me become a better presenter. Additionally, it gave me the opportunity to travel and network all around the country with students as well as chartered accountants. Interacting with so many people from diverse backgrounds helped me shape my personality. I've had the opportunity after becoming a CA to deliver TEDx talks in IIM Bangalore and IIM Ahmedabad. The experience as a CA student presenter immensely helped me here. You remember Chatur from 3 Idiots? So 3 Idiots was shot in IIM Bangalore. And in IIM Bangalore, I was standing at the same spot giving the TEDx talk in which Chatur from 3 Idiots gave his famous speech. Sports has enhanced my immunity to diseases. There are times I fall sick. The body has learned to fight the diseases faster and my mind is craving to get fit and go outdoors. My diseases last much shorter than others. In triathlon, muscle pulls, cramps, swellings are normal course of life. I've learned to treat these and take these in stride. As an educated sports person, I get a lot of leverage, owing to which I'm also a part of the Indian Triathlon Federation Development Committee, as I not only perform the sporting activity, but also understand it thoroughly. This has been a very good learning curve for me personally, as I'm able to understand the coordination of how administration and athlete management go hand in hand. Over years of training, I have learned that consistency has played the biggest role in my success. To show up at the training every day, even on days I didn't feel like, wanted to, or was not in a mood for. Getting the training done consistently over years has developed my capacity to what I have today. It is never a smooth ride. There are 1,000 reasons to give up, but holding on to that one reason to continue makes all the difference. My training is consistently every day without fail, on an average 5 to 6 hours every day after day, with planned easy days to recover. After some setbacks, I've realized the true moral of the story, the hare and the tortoise. The moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race. We focus on the slow, but the real moral is steady, meaning regularly. While the roads are closed to public in races, accidents do happen between athletes. Presently, I'm recuperating from an accident in national cycling in November last year. I, along with another dozen cyclists, had a crash in the last 500 meters of an 80-kilometer race. Many a cyclist passed over me when I was flat on the road. But here I am, partly recovered, ready to get back into the game. The accident, though a setback, is not the end. The focus is on the process, training in this case, and not the results. Results eventually happen. As I move ahead, I also realize the contribution of so many people in my success. Besides my family, who have always stood behind me with time, money, and emotional support, my coaches, teachers, colleagues, friends, organizers, media, sponsors, and even the bystanders who helped me in a cycle puncture or an accident have made me what I am today. My competitors have a very special place in giving me tips directly or indirectly and pushing me to stay ahead, like the story of Lion and the Gazelle. They are the main contributors of whatever I have achieved or wherever I will be tomorrow. Involvement of equipment, the cycle on which we rely heavily, can go wrong at any point during the race. Despite of putting in all the right preparations for the competition, results may vary owing to the dysfunction in the cycle. I have had experiences where due to a simple puncture, I had to quit the race. In another incident, due to some problem in my saddle, I fell off the bike. I can complain and cry over these issues, but one must learn and evolve through these. There are days when I wake up and I just don't feel like training. The body and mind requires rest and distraction. As CA Jayacharya rightly said, that we need vacation. When we do an activity every day, day after day, for months and years, we can lose interest out of boredom. It is possible to reboot and come back to the activity with vigor. I don't lose my heart. I know that I can always resume the activity and still excel. A lot of my success is on the ability to not quit permanently. I take regular breaks from my training and do other things in life which I don't as a routine. I go hang out with my friends, travel to places, indulge in other sports, watch movies, and relax. So sports training is a work of art. Just like a random piece of rock is gradually chipped off and passionately carved into a masterpiece, a sports person is trained to become a medal winner over time with proper support. At a young age of 19, I became the senior national women triathlon champion, the very first year I could participate. In triathlon, one gives the peak performance after over a decade of training and at around 30 years of age. Past Olympic world champions have been in the age category of 28 to 32. I am 27 years old now. 2.5 years from now, when I compete in the Olympics, I will be at my peak performance. I have 9 years of consistent training, demonstrated talent, and developed ability to take inherent risk of the sport. Having spent 3 years in the international coaches and squad environment, I realized the quality improvement that it has on my performance. High quality equipment also enhances performance in my game. All this requires more than 5 million rupees per annum for the next 3 years. This investment will ensure the first triathlete from India to reach the Olympics. I appeal to everyone to help me in any way possible. I'm sending a separate appeal via a CA Nilab Bhatt to get me as much sponsorship as possible. Triathlon is a nascent sport in India. Today, we notice the momentum running has, as a way of life, has gathered all around the country in India. So people are now looking for the next level of challenge which triathlon offers. With some hindrances in the open water swimming and road cycling, people are still trying to cope up with these. Triathlon has become larger than marathon in terms of participation worldwide. In times to come, the same explosion will be seen in India. Through my experiences, I've learned that life is a journey. During that, one makes efforts, relaxes, makes mistakes, corrects them, has fun, falls, gets up, tries again. Gradually, one succeeds. While doing all this, we are becoming stronger and more capable. Success then has no option but to come to you someday. Lastly, I would also wish every one of you to take up some kind of endurance activity. It helps you keep fit and feel energetic throughout the day, apart from its usual health benefits. Wishing all of you a very happy Republic Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragma ma'am, for your inspiring stories, motivational stories, and whatnot. Kudos to you, ma'am. A big round of applause to Pragma ma'am. Big round of applause, I would say. Big, big.
Thank you so much.
So we can see that, ma'am, that participation of our members, they are very keen to ask. Many questions are pouring in this our chat box, and personally we are also getting in our XCOM group some questions. So if you allow me, can I ask some questions to you?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So first question is being asked by our speaker, C. Amit ji. So he's asking, he's saying, first of all, inspirational journey. And after that, he's asking the question, given in 2022, we have the Commonwealth Games and then Asian Games. Will we have triathlon sports, and what about India's participation?
So we do have participation in both the games. Commonwealth is in UK, and we'll be sending a team of 2 male and 2 female. In both the games, we do have triathlon as an event. In Commonwealth Games, we have the sprint distance triathlon, and in Asian Games, we have the Olympic distance triathlon. So as of now, the Indian Olympic Committee has granted that they'll be sending a team of 2 female and 2 male, and hopefully I should be a part of that team.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So now, next question in line, ma'am. This is a very simple and sweet question, I would say. So any message from your side for our women chartered accountants?
I think for the women chartered accountants, first of all, a very big round of applause for everyone who's become a chartered accountant, because coming from India, I know that it is not easy for women to pursue professional degrees, and you have come so far and you are a chartered accountant. And having said that, I think it is very important to be financially independent as women to be able to make critical decisions of your life. So I hope that all the women chartered accountants who are hearing me out, that you are financially independent, and I think you should take up any activity that you like, and you should not, burdened by the male counterparts in your life, be it your father, your husband, or your son. So I think you should have your own say in life, whatever you want to do. That is very important.
Very important message, ma'am. Thank you so much. So now, next question, ma'am. Being used to outdoor excursion as an avid athlete, how did you manage to keep up your interest during pandemic times?
I think that is a very good question, because during the pandemic, there were restrictions about we could not go outdoors to train a lot. So what I did was, I was stuck in Melbourne. I had gone there for training for 3 months, but I got stuck there for the entire COVID duration. So instead of the 3 months, I had to stay there for 1.5 years. So I purchased an indoor cycling trainer so I could cycle indoors. I also purchased an inflatable swimming pool. So that is a kid-sized swimming pool that I purchased, and I used to swim in that. And also because I was in Melbourne and there was access to open water, there is beautiful beaches in Melbourne, so I was able to swim there as well. So initially there was a low phase for almost a month when the lockdowns were announced, because I had gone there especially to train with my coach and my squad that I had. I was very disappointed that I could not train with them. But after 1 month, when it seemed that, the lockdowns would continue for a longer period of time, I regained my motivation by, talking to the group that I have. And then we started having virtual sessions like we are having right now. We also started having virtual training sessions, which motivated me to stay fit and continue my training during the pandemic.
Good, ma'am. Thank you so much. So now the next question, ma'am, it is how being CA has helped you in being a sports icon.
So CA is a very integral part of my identity, and whenever it sets me apart from my counterparts in the sporting arena. Whenever anyone comes to know that apart from being a sports person, I'm also a chartered accountant, and chartered accountant being so tough course to become a chartered accountant in itself. So they are always in awe that because I'm a chartered accountant, let alone like my sporting achievements. So I think chartered accountancy has helped me get a lot of leverage out of my sporting achievements that I have. And apart from that, as I mentioned in my talk, chartered accountancy, and as Amit ji also mentioned, that chartered accountancy develops that analytical part. So it also helps me in knowing my sport better, and sports has now become science, and there's a lot of data that goes into it. So not only my coaches, but also me as an athlete, I can look into it and understand what the data is trying to show, so I can optimally train according to what my body is also indicating. So that has really, CS really helped me in that.
Great, ma'am. So I think you have, in your this answer, you have covered my next question, which was what motivated you to do the CA course. So thank you for that. So now the next in line, ma'am, how do you maintain the balance between your profession and your passion?
So my focus is on sports at the moment. I do have a CA practice, and I do take assignments on assignment to assignment basis. So I try. My main focus is sports. So I spend almost 4 to 6 hours every day on sports, and the remaining 2 to 4 hours that I get, I spend on chartered accountancy work. I think time management is of the key. So I have to manage my time. I don't do a lot of other activities like socializing during my regular weekdays. So I have special times like whenever I take break or I take rest periods or vacation. So I think time management is the key. So if you have a very good time management, and I think it is also about prioritizing what are your priorities in life. So if I am able to do it through that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. So now I think last but not the least, we have one more question. We are running in road because for LSD ground is not enough. Can you please suggest that concrete road running is not bad for our knees? That is a question from one of our members.
Okay, so concrete road running is not bad if you have the base miles. There's a concept of building the base. So while building the base, we do easy running a lot of time so that the muscular developments happen. So that if the muscles around the knees are strong enough, then they take the load and not the knee. So if you have the base miles done properly, then the muscular structure around the knees will be taking the load while running. So it does not, the surface of running then does not matter. But if you are just a beginner, then I would suggest that you go on softer surfaces, not directly on the road. But if you are a seasoned runner, I think running on the road or softer surfaces does not matter.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry about that. I am not able to hold myself to ask some more questions.
Sure, sir.
So the questions are pouring in because people are, members are very much interested to ask some questions, get some inspiration from you. So there is one question from member. What is prerequisite for triathlon?
Prerequisite, there's no prerequisite, but you should know all the three sports, that is swimming, cycling and running. And there is some kind of mastery that is required in all the three sports because you have to do it for a longer duration of time. So there is no prerequisite. If you are already a runner and you want to become a triathlete, maybe you have to learn swimming and cycling, or either way you can, there is no prerequisite as such. You can start it any day. It is just that you have to know all the three and learn it to a certain level.
Correct. Thank you, ma'am. So it is kind of learning by doing, not by just listening. So now the last question, ma'am. Who has been your sports inspiration and the role model? I mean.
So in my sport, there is a triathlete who also won the 2016 Olympics gold medal. Her name is Gwen Joggerson. She happens to be very similar in background to me. She is a CPA of USA, and she belongs to USA, and she took up the sport in around the same time that I did in 2012. And she very she picked up the sport very rapidly, and she became the Olympic champion in 2016, and she was also the world champion in 2014 and 15. So I think she is my role model, and also the fact that she is a CPA of USA and I'm a CA of India, so that also resonates a lot. So she is my role model.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving answer vividly for all the questions asked by our members. And personally, I am just, more inspired than anyone. And I'm just thinking what I'm doing after doing the CA. This is what the message I'm taking.
But as CAs, like Jay sir also mentioned, that domain knowledge and domain expertise is the first focus, and then all the things beyond the numbers.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I think I should hand over to the podium, virtual screen, to our CA Ankit for the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, CA Devki. Passion is the energy that keeps us going, that keeps us filled with meaning and happiness and excitement and anticipation. Passion is a powerful force in accomplishing anything you set your mind to and in experiencing work and the life the fullest extent possible. Ultimately, passion is the driving force behind success and happiness that allow us all to live the better life. I would like to give my sincere thanks to our keynote speaker for the evening, CA Jayacharya sir. CA Jayacharya sir is truly a live example of CA Beyond Numbers. Thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring speech. Now I'd like to give my humble thanks to the speakers for the day, CA Amit Arora ji, sir, and CA Pragma Mohan ma'am, for realizing that yes, we have a life beyond the numbers and live that by following your passion and dreams. No event is possible without the financial support. So my utmost thanks to all the sponsors for their continuous support in each and every event. Last but not the least, My sincere thanks to all the members for their active participation, and big round of applause for entire executive committee who always working hard behind the curtain to make sure all the event is successful. Once again, thank you so much to each and everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. With this, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Thank you so much, everyone.
Pragya, you are truly inspirational. You make us all CAs feel proud. And because you are a CA, suddenly we feel we are all family to you, and your win is our win. So all the best with all your endeavors.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It means a lot coming from you. You are truly women empowerment, the icon of women empowerment.
Oh my God, but yeah, I'm nowhere near all of you. Today, the program was excellent, Nirlab bhai. It was the beginning of the program was set so well by Jayji. Even for a minute, I didn't want to move from here. It's an excellent program. All of you are so inspiring. All of us are now thinking which sport to take up, what to do. And Pragya, I can, I'm a mom too of kids who are into sports. So I can actually relate to, I'm thinking about your parents and their dedication to what you have achieved. So yeah, it's a great, and I also realized that when you are so much into sports, studies just comes to you naturally and you excel at both.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, I think the point that you touched, that the parental involvement, I was very fortunate that my parents have been always supportive of the endeavors that I undertook, and I understand the sacrifices that as parents you have to make for your child, and if they want to pursue some passions, it's enormous.
So, ma'am, as you know that in Qatar we are there this FIFA 2022, right? So we would be more than happy to welcome you, ma'am, in this somewhere in the month of November or December.
Definitely, I love that.
Yeah. Same with Amit ji also. So just come here, sir, and then do some kind of anchoring here also for some match.
I'm going to steal the talk and invite everybody to Muscat. We have excellent nature trails here. The most beautiful walks, treks, and the best oceans. And we have our every year we have the cycling. It just doesn't come to me right now, but we have excellent events happening. So I look forward to seeing, in fact, everybody here to Muscat.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Just wanted to say thank you, and for that invite, Shilpa ji. I can also share which sport you can take to. If you're ready to be stung by a jelly bee, you can take the risk of your life with crocodiles in a river. And you can manage a smile even when you get accidents. Probably you can try triathlon.
I agree. Thank you. We have a local one here which happens with 1 kilometer and 500 meters. Maybe I should try with that.
But I got some feedback from a few other CAs also, like what CA Devki said. All were thinking that what are we doing after being qualified as CA? But friends, we need not to leave CA. As Jai sir rightly said in the beginning, let's have a passion for our main field, but at the same time, let's excel in both. When you are a CA, in fact, I realized when I was kind of introspecting with the sessions of CA Pragna and all that, I realized that both go hand in hand, and you can actually excel in both when you are a CA. So great lesson.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think in India you have 11 o'clock past 11. So I think you need to take dinner or something. So thank you so much again for enlightening us, inspiring us, motivating us. What I can say, I don't have any words, to be honest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jai sir, for joining again, and big thanks to you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good night. Take care.